Guys, in less than 24 hours, we are going to be getting a new look at Series of Origin and more likely a bunch of reveals and maybe even a sort of tease towards a release date. This is the first step in the game becoming real. And I'm excited. So to quickly run you up to speed, it's been about a month since we kind of made our video kind of breaking down the shift in the marketing for Series of Origin. If you don't know, the game got announced like almost 3 years ago now. It's been a very, very long time. And we've been getting, at that point, a trailer update once every year to kind of showcase the game, to say, hey guys, it's still here, it's coming in the future. And everyone was asking, yo, when is this game finally coming out? And it all started on March 25th. And we got this official announcement off like the Twitter page, them now starting to push the game out more to where, yo, we are kind of in the midst of it coming out. And once again, if you don't remember, this was shown at one of like the Netmarble press conferences where they did say that the game is planned to release in the second half of 2025, which basically means anytime after July. And of course, with them starting to push the game out more, it was starting to like, yeah, that July release date might be kind of real a little bit. And basically ever since then, every Thursday at like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. my time, they started tweeting out something every single week. Started off like a little teaser for the Fairy Forest. Then we got this really cool one where they kind of start teasing the story a little bit, showcasing Chaos right there, which obviously we've seen behind the scenes and kind of gathered a little bit from all the information for the last like 2 years now, that Chaos is the main entity or villain of this story mode, which more likely means Chaos Arthur right down here might actually be one of the main villains, if not the main villain. And remember, Chaos, if you haven't been following Fallout Apocalypse, not to spoil anything yet, that is still kind of gone unexplained. The next thing we got was Tiore. They revealed her, calling her the first original character. Now, the original character, sure, it makes sense because she was made for the game, but also made to be fit in the canon of the story because she is in Fallout Apocalypse. She is, like, there's no point in even calling her original because, you know, if we look right here, you know, these are the original characters, which my biggest problem with the original characters was that they weren't made by Nakaba, the creator of 70 Sins. In fact, these characters, this character right here, was supposedly created by the Weathering Waves, not creator, but someone that's worked in Weathering Waves. So Series of Origin with these OC characters will not appear in, obviously, 70 Sins, and these are definitely catering towards more of the Genshin and Weathering Waves community, where this one, yeah, the 70 Sins community a little bit. But yeah, that was every Thursday. Obviously, today is obviously Tuesday, so we are 2 days away from our actual like normal weekly tweets. And he tweeted out this today: a new adventure to save the world begins again. A new Origin video drops tomorrow. Be sure to look out for towards that. And man, it's good to see it in HD because the trailers and stuff we'll be getting have all been like really bad quality. But yeah, tomorrow we're getting a trailer. Cannot wait. Alright, so I got a few things that I want to talk about a little bit and go over like what to expect during the actual, or hope to expect, or what I want to see come from this new trailer. Because if I'm being honest, guys, the last trailer we got, I was disappointed. Not for the OCs, that like drama that spawned from it, but also because, well, we got a trailer at that point once per year. At the end of the year, we always got at least one trailer. And with each year, they continue to show the development of the game with new characters and new other stuff. And while, yes, the new trailer did show a few new characters, it was honestly very bland. Like, a whole year's passed, and that's all they've done. You know, it got to a point where, like, come on, show us something. And to be fair, only a few months later, they're now doing that. So what do I want to see? Well, first, I think everyone's expecting a release date. Now, remember, the game is meant to release in the second half of the year, which does mean sometime after July. However, with every single Netmarble game that's come out, they always do a soft launch, whether that be in Canada or the UK, or I think even some other places they've done. Idle Adventure soft launch first. I think Solar Leveling soft launch first. So I think most people are expecting a soft launch to play the game early, which does mean the official release date could still come out in sometime in July, but we could see the game come as early as like May, June, where you get to test the game early for a few months so you can update the game, not really add content because it is a soft launch, and then once again fully release the game to where everyone can play it. So that is kind of what I'm looking out for. A release date for either the soft launch, the release date of the game, or maybe even a release date for the actual, or hopefully if they actually do it, some sort of actual like live stream. We're only getting one video and it might be a trailer, but I really do hope they do a stream very similar towards how they did Series Sins Ragnarok, the massive expansion towards Series Sins Grand Cross, where they had a whole live stream, had an anime cutscene, and a whole hour explaining the characters, showing some other stuff, all the rewards. I really want, and I think the game needs, a live stream to showcase what the game has to offer, rather than one little trailer, but with the wait and see. Another thing I want to see is some more world exploration. At the moment, especially with the gameplay stuff we saw, they had had two modes. You had the story mode, which you couldn't really play, and then also like the open world speedrun mode. Now, granted, this is probably just for demo. I don't think they're going to do that when it comes towards the actual game. And I always saw was them roam around Leonis. Like, the map was very, very small if they ever do open it. Look how small it is. Obviously, it's like the Genshin type thing where the borders will expand with each update, but this is very, very small. This is meant to be like a base thing. I hope they've updated it since then, because we have seen like the Fairy Forest, and if anything, there's more monuments from the Seracen's history that I want to see. We need some character reveals. On screen now are all the playable characters that we've known of that have been shown to be playable. And I think one of the big things lacking from it is a few things. One, Escanor Diane. The reason why they haven't shown Escanor because he probably even won't be playable on the release of the game, but it would be really cool to see his model in game. They've kind of been teasing him with his axe dropping in some of the trailers. In one of the promotional artworks, you can see Diane and Escanor, but I want to see full-on gameplay of Escanor, whether that be through a cutscene or some sorts, but we have to see him hoping this trailer, especially with it being like the first big trailer of the game. Once again, I don't think Escanor will be playable, but he will be probably one of the first banners on launch of the game. However, Diane should be playable. Diane's a bit of a weird one because while she's not like the high-biz character from Seven Days Sins and like the Sins itself, she has got the unique mechanic of being a giant, so that will be cool to play around with. So I really want to see how that works. And of course, we gotta see some commandments. Like, the game needs some commandments. We need some villains. Now, granted, I don't think we're gonna get to see maybe too much of Derriere, Zeldas, or Estarossa, because once again, typically 70 Sins games, they like to sell those characters as banners post-launch of the game. So we might get to see a bit of Galan, maybe a Monspeed, maybe even Grey Road. She might be in the game. Draw Gluxinia, I'd like to see some of those, because I do imagine some of them, like I say, Grey Road, Fraudrin, they're more likely to be like the SRs or the 4 stars of the game. I don't think all the commandments are going to be like playable legendary characters or 5 stars, however they do it in this game. We do know there is a customization tab. The third one right here is cosmetics. We've seen a few characters, at least in terms of Tiore and I think Tristan a little bit when you have actual outfits in game. Granted, a lot of them are probably taken straight from Grand Cross, but I'd love them to show us how the customization works, whether you get stats from them or whether it's like pieces, like how Grand Cross is, where you can wear like a headpiece, you can change the weapon. Well, I guess the weapon wouldn't actually work. It might just be one solid outfit, but I'd love to see more costumes in the game. And more unique ones, rather than just taking them straight from Grand Cross. One thing that we noticed in the gameplay was that you can combine ultimates. It's very, very cool. So if you haven't seen it, we posted on our Twitter account on the official or the news account, right? The best news account on Series Origin. Definitely give it a follow. But right here, you can see when a character uses ultimate, like Hazard, for example, it pops up at the bottom that you can combine it. And you can see right now, granted he doesn't do it, but Merlin, because it is co-op, sends down her ultimate, and you then get the Supernova Tornado, which is very, very cool. And there's a bunch of examples. However, they don't outright point out what it is, but there are some really cool like combos you can do. So, for example, Merlin does her ultimate, and then boom, you use the Gilthunder one, which is normally a lightning strike, but then turns into a fire lightning strike, making a bigger radius for it. Really hope they show more of these in the game and like outright point out that, hey, it's a thing in the game, because people missed it. It took me a year to realize it was actually in the game, and until then, no one actually noticed it. This was cool though. Yeah, Merlin's one. Merlin seems like the best character in the game, by the way. And you have the melee one, which is a Hellblade, but it explodes doing a fire Hellblaze. It's sick. And the final thing, which I hope they do, is show Chaos Arthur, because if he is meant to be the main villain, and we're getting Chaos drops, the only person so far revolved on Chaos is Chaos Arthur. You have to show him. I hope they do. If they do, that'd be insane, because getting Chaos Arthur model in the game, especially the Four Knights one, because we have Chaos Arthur from 70 Sins in 70 Sins in Grand Cross. I'd love to see him in 3D model. So, yeah, guys, a bit of a longer video, but there's a lot of stuff I want to talk about because I am so excited for tomorrow. Cannot wait. We'll be getting a full breakdown and even a reaction on the channel once it does drop. But there's so much stuff coming tomorrow as well, especially with Eminence in the Shadow collaboration on Grand Cross. Yeah, I'm going to be busy. So, guys, thank you for watching, and peace.